Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We are here with the Cruz Report. I got my man Brett Shaw, episode 1, baby, the first. I had to save the best for first. Is that how it works?
No? I don't think so.
So what I want to do, a lot of you guys know us, whether it's on Facebook, TikTok, OnlyFans for Brett. And what I want to do is dive in a little bit more and kind of let you know who Brett Shaw is. And we'll do features on all of our guys that work with BTG, including myself. A little background story here. Brett Shaw, why don't you give me your 0 to 18 year synopsis of how Brett Shaw became Brett Shaw?
I was born. That was step one.
That is a key component in this thing.
Yeah, I was born in Ohio. I lived there until I was.
So are you saying your
24?
mom was horny at some point?
Yes, they had sex.
There's a shot for me. Go ahead.
At least 4 times my mom had sex.
Maybe 5.
Maybe.
All right.
But I was born in Ohio. I lived there until I was 24. But raised in a small farm town. My dad did HVAC work, electrical, plumbing, a little bit of everything. My mom was a waitress in a little local diner for 50 years.
Holy shit.
Till she retired. She basically waited tables from the time she was 18 till she retired. So,
wow.
Played football and baseball growing up.
Okay.
Very badly, but I played.
I like it. Varsity? You started?
Actually, no.
No?
I didn't play baseball in high school at all. I
You're
quit
a
at like 8th
starter
grade.
now. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
yeah, but nah. And football, I quit junior year. So,
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
All right. So then what, and I'm just giving them the background because I met you in North Carolina. What brought you to North Carolina up until the point we met?
My wife's job took us to North Carolina. She graduated college in 03. Applied to everywhere in Ohio, 78 out of the 88 counties, and didn't even get a single interview.
Wow.
We drove down to Fayetteville on a weekend.
Oh, Vietnam, baby.
Yeah, Fayetteville, baby. I love it. But we drove down to Fayetteville, checked the town out. She had a job fair on Monday and had a job on Tuesday.
Okay.
Had to be there the following week, and we spent 17 years in North Carolina.
So cool thing here, and this will be one of the first times we ever shared this. He moves into the apartment complex that I live in. We work at the same place, and we don't know each other at all.
Nope.
We basically did manual labor at a Walmart distribution center. Hot as fuck in this place. I look over. I'm in the smoke break room, just blowing one off, eating my Big Macs. And I look over there, and there's this guy in cowboy boots. And I'm talking, dude, we are drenched in sweat. So, I mean, I had to go walk over there and, be like, who the fuck is this guy? We actually go to a local show. One of a mutual friend of ours at work was playing in a band called Gasoline, which I still want a reunion, by the way, if you guys ever watch this.
How many dollars does Dennis Bullard
that night when I was drunk, he had $1 million, but he's only got $25 to his name. That was one of their good songs that they had. But so yeah, we meet a little bit in North Carolina. We start hanging out through this local band. I'm kind of in a single phase. I did a few things that Brett Shaw witnessed that I wasn't proud of. And, we became friends. So the long and short of it is Brett runs our company, Breaking the Game, which is all of our sports memorabilia. Pretty much any item that you could possibly want. So here's a Dan Marino signed helmet. It's got certification of authenticity on the back, COAs. It'll tell you where it was signed, who it was signed by, what time, where, so that you know that it's legitimate. So Brett runs a little bit of that company for me. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what your job entails? I know people see it from the front end, right? They see you breaking. Give a little bit of a background of what it takes to be a breaker.
You got to be very organized, first of all, because there's a lot of moving parts. I mean, we work really well with Radkey Sports, our biggest vendor.
Absolutely.
We talk to them a ton as far as, what they've got coming up and what we're going to see in breaks. And sometimes they pitch ideas like, what do you think about this athlete? What do you think about that athlete? So it's a good relationship there, but there's a lot of just taking care of customers. I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't take care of your customers, somebody's going to. I think the biggest part of what we do is just kind of getting to know people, as weird as that sounds, getting to know people you never met on the 100%. Internet, but taking a little bit of interest in their life. How was your kid's game? How's your wife's surgery? Whatever the case may be. Just caring and treating people the right way. But there's a lot of shipping, and then sometimes you get shipping like issues, like damages that you got to take care of, inventory, money. Government got to get their cut. So
they get a big cut.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you think that people don't realize that are actually, I don't want to say negative, but a little bit of the detractor of being a breaker? As far as the amount of sacrifice, the nights, the days, the weekend, those type of things that people don't see.
Yeah, I mean yeah, we get to make our own schedule, but at the end of the day, if we aren't working, we don't make money at the same time. So
For sure.
Yeah, you got to be willing to work nights and weekends, and sometimes that means not getting to spend the Saturday night with your wife, which we've both been in that situation, and not being able. I mean, I'm lucky. I've been able to pretty much spend. If my son's got something going on, I make that happen. But outside of that, a lot of weekends and people will message you, hey, you working tonight? I'm like, well, no, I'm taking the night off. I've worked, 6 nights in a row. And a lot of times it doesn't seem like work, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's a job. And as blessed as we are to do what we do. And
For sure.
It's a way better than standing on the road paving roads. And I installed telephone and internet for 7 years and crawling in crawl spaces. And
Sometimes I forget those moments because you can be a little grouchy from time to time now, but like back then,
yeah,
it was rough, man. We've come a long way.
Yeah, there's nothing fun about crawling a crawl space with spider webs and snakes and mice.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So, what would you say? One of the things that you've learned from the last job that you have to doing this now, right? You're out in the public. You're live every night. What are some of the things that you think you've even learned about yourself through that whole journey?
I'm typically a guy half full, glass half full kind of guy. So definitely some things you could do things that you didn't think you could do before.
For sure.
Or you can accomplish things you didn't think you'd accomplish. Sometimes you fail. I mean, that's just part of life. You're going to fail when you try stuff. But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I've learned about myself is you don't know till you try.
Right.
And I'm by nature, I'm not a try it guy. I'm more of a if it works, keep doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just my nature. Like, why change what's working? But sometimes you have to change.
You're a creature of habit.
Right,
for
100%.
Sure. What are some of the cool things that, like, the experiences that we get to share with the customers, like the very first time that somebody hits a certain helmet or whatever? Like, what is that feeling for you, and how do you think that equates to what feeling we gave them from winning their first helmet?
That's the best part of what we do is when somebody, no matter who they cheer for, let's say they're a Chargers fan, they hit a Justin Herbert or a Natron Means or a LaDainian Tomlinson. That's awesome when they hit something and that's their prized possession or that's, goes up on the mantle or wherever they put it in their house. But that's their favorite item they own as far as memorabilia goes. And that's an awesome feeling. I mean, whenever anybody wins, it's very cool because they're always happy. But when somebody hits an item that's going to be part of their collection forever, that's the best part about what we do.
And I've always said this before. I think our greatest challenge is educating people that this is available, right? If we stood in the center of Mercedes-Benz Stadium where the Falcons play, and we got a microphone and we said, "Hey guys, raise your hand if you'd like to have a signed, helmet." 70,000 people are going to raise their hand, but not all of them know that this is accessible and this is attainable, right?
Right.
And it's not about rich people. The way that we've worked it is we want to cater to that PE teacher, to that school teacher, right? Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves the guy that's going to come in and buy 15 helmets from you, but we also want the guy that can afford $35, $45 here or there. You know what I mean?
100%.
And so that's kind of why we do what we do. Why don't you give me, let's dive in a little bit more to me and you, right? Give them something that they wouldn't necessarily know about me that you've learned about me having worked with me.
He's not organized at all.
Not organized.
Not organized.
If you, I'm dressed like a Christmas tree. I don't know if you can see my red shorts and my green shirt. Listen. Maybe it'll change. At this point, I'm 41. I do not care what people think about me.
I don't care if we're meeting here just for bullshitting or if we're going out to true stories. We have a really nice steakhouse in Duluth, and it's got a dress code. You're supposed to be in there in pants and at least like a collared shirt, like golf attire.
It has a dress code for normal people.
Yeah, but he walks in flip-flops and shorts and a T-shirt, and he's like, just sit me in the back. It's fine. That's just, I mean, no matter what we're doing, he's going to show up unless his wife absolutely insists that he wears something nice. That's the only person he's ever going to put regular clothes on.
The greatest part about me being my own boss is that I can still dress like I'm in middle school, and I don't give a fuck what people think. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
That is the app. That and being able to coach my kids and the freedom that it allows, right? It has its own headaches, but buddy, I wake up every morning. This is the honest to God's truth. Whatever pair of shorts that Wendy's put on top of my drawer is what I grab, and whatever shirt is on the first hanger, it doesn't matter what color it is. That's what I'm wearing today. So today, I'm festive. I look like a Christmas tree.
And he doesn't care, no matter who we're meeting with. Like
what quality?
We met with Emmitt Smith, and he has something similar on. So.
100%. I mean, look. He's a guy, right? He
Right.
wipes his butthole the same way I do.
Maybe not. Maybe he has a bidet.
Okay. He puts his shorts on the same way I put my shorts on.
Possible.
What would you say is a quality? I want both sides of this spectrum, because I mean, this is an in-depth dive on all of us. Who you are, who I am, right? We've got a lot of people that have been with us through the years. Give me something that you really don't like about me, and I want you to be truthful. And then I want something positive that you really like about me.
Can it be the same thing?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where you're going with this.
I mean, just your glass 3/4 full. I wouldn't even
Okay.
say half full. It's a positive and a negative, and we wouldn't be sitting here today without that mentality.
For sure.
Because you are a dreamer, you're a gambler, you're always going to go for it. If golf course
Shoot or shoot,
mentality,
baby.
if we're 300 out, he still thinks he's going to reach there with his 5-wood. And when I say he can't do it, he's going to try it even harder.
The last time you said that to me on Chicopee Woods on hole 9 across that water, did I put that motherfucker on the green?
1 out of 700.
That's
isn't
all
bad.
that matters, baby. That's all that matters.
But it's a blessing and a curse, and that's the way a lot of things in life. You're not going to hit that shot unless you take the shot.
Right.
But sometimes it's like, can we
Be realistic.
can we improve what we're doing already before we work on the next goal?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely a let's run and let's fucking figure it out later. You
Yeah.
know, and sometimes you got to walk and sometimes you got to crawl. I'll do the same for you. I would say the negative would be, and again, you're my yin to my yang, right? You're my work wife. That's the first time I've ever said that. It's a little weird, but
I would have called Aaron your work wife.
You're the person that keeps me even keel, right? You're realist. You're a realist. You don't. If I dream too far ahead, you pop my balloon and bring me back down. But I also need that. So I would say there are times when your outlook is a little more negative than mine. But I would say at the same time, you're one of the most loyal, honest people that I've ever met. If I need it honest, I know I'm going to get it from you. And then the one thing that I think stands out to me above everything else, you've done a great job for breaking the game. You've done a great job for me as a friend. You know all my kids and your kids. I was at your kid's birth, and you were in my wedding. You were my best man. The thing that I think even I like better than being loyal and how you are to me is the father that you are. The one thing I will say, and it can be annoying at times, right? Because I'll be like, dude, it's December, it's 65 out, let's go golfing. I can't. Why? It's got practice at 4. And I'm like, I get, like, sometimes I'm like, what the fuck? But from a dad standpoint, man, like, it doesn't get better than that. You don't miss any of his practices, any of his games. You're the fucking team manager now. My man's getting promoted. Like, so you give everything you can to his enjoyment and to make sure that he has the best life possible. That, I think, to me, stands out more than anything else that you do. Because, you know, one of the things that I love about people is how they treat other people and how they interact with other people. Your interaction with everybody's been great. Your interaction with him, though, is like, it's on another level. Like, the love there, I can feel that. And to me, that increases my amount of respect for you more than anything else.
I mean, at some point in life, he's going to have to choose whether he wants to put me in a home or his mom.
100%.
I'm hoping that's me.
Listen, my goal.
I mean, I hope that's her. She goes in
My
a home.
goal through all of this is that me and you are never in a home. We die on a golf course together somewhere.
I mean, that's my retirement goal.
So I would say this. Let me ask you. I want to know the most mad you've ever been at me. I'm gonna share mine. I promise. I've been thinking about this
Is this
for a
about
while.
fantasy football?
No, that was one of them.
Flag football?
The most mad you've ever been at me, and then the most proud of me you've ever been.
Most mad was probably a year ago.
Okay.
Whenever, basically there was, without getting into all the little details, but there was a disagreement we had, and I really didn't need your help per se, but you were insistent you give me your help because
I'm lost here. Give me a little more background.
I don't know. Does who runs this business ring a bell?
Okay, I remember that day. I do. That was a good day.
But no, it was just you guys were slammed at the store, and I know you. Joe is, if he takes a slice of pizza off of his plate, he's going to try to put 3 slices back on there. And I try to take stuff off your plate, and when you put stuff back on there, a lot of times it's frustrating. It's like, I don't need your help. It's not that I don't want your help. I can do it on my own, I don't need you to put that back on your plate. Because you were in the old store, it wasn't going as great as this new store is awesome.
For sure.
So I know you were stressing a lot there. I'm like, I can handle it, and part of that's pride too. Like I'm not as much of a. If we were in a band, I would be a solo act. Like, I want to have band behind me, but
I'd be the lead singer.
But you would want to be in a band.
Yeah,
you would want a 12-piece band
I still
behind you.
maybe want to be in a band.
I'd be out there with an acoustic guitar by myself.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So what's the one thing that you're most proud of me?
It would go back to what we talked about earlier, just your positivity, because a lot of times you'll pull me into something that I don't want to do.
For sure.
Like this podcast. I wasn't really excited to do this today.
He didn't know that we were doing this until about 4 minutes before we did it.
Yeah, so but your ability to make people believe, to put the positive spin on there, even when people don't want that positive spin. Sometimes you got to drag them along.
Look, it ain't all. Trust me, Wendy will tell you, it ain't always great waking up when I'm beating on the walls as I'm getting ready and singing, but that's just who I am. Like 99% of the time I wake up and I have a good day.
And no matter how many times I beat you in golf, you think that day is going to be the day.
Good. I thank you for bringing that up. This brings us to our next segue. The things that Brett's, I've been mad at him the most for. So Brett and me are competitive, right? And I'm not knocking you, but I would say most sports in this world I could beat you at.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm just a physical specimen. Look at me. But in golf, for whatever fucking reason, I cannot beat this guy. Not when it counts. He'll tell you, you've beat me. I'm talking when we lay the chips on the line and when it's mano-a-mano and we know. So I had one of my more epic meltdowns. This was, 2 years ago?
How are you mad at me for this?
I don't know. I was just angry. It wasn't your fault. You're just better than me. Let me get to the story. So we do this thing once a year where we go we do matchups, right? We do one-on-one matchups. There's 16 of us, and we kind of break it up to who's even and who's not. I really should have been somewhere else on that list, but Brett was on the other team, and we were captains, right?
Were we captains?
No, Jordan and them were captains. Anyway, doesn't matter. So Brett and me are going to do our one-on-one. We know it's coming up. I've been practicing. Dude, I'm out there fucking sweating, chipping balls, pitching, putting. Like, I'm on my game. I'm walking in there with swag. I walk onto the first tee box. They're recording it. I pipe one down. Boy, I've never felt better. I've never beat on my chest more. I wanted a Conor McGregor walk around that bad boy.
And I went OB.
He did. OB. Couldn't have started better. And by hole 12, he had beat me like 11 of the 12 holes. And when I realized that I had lost and I had put so much energy and effort, and I never do this. I don't know why. I lost my shit. I threw my clubs. I started driving away back home, threw my fucking glove off, the balls. I mean, my shoes. I threw my fucking shoes off the cart. And I drove home pissed off and embarrassed. But, yeah, that was one of my lower moments. I appreciate you taking part in that with me. But no, we really haven't had many rocky roads. I mean, I put you in a lot of challenging situations. You're in front of a big operation. You know, there's a lot of money flowing through, a lot of things happening. And you nip it in the bud for me. You really do. You do a good job. You know, none of us are perfect. We all have things that we can improve and work on. And I hope that's one thing I can rub off on you is that, you know, we can get better every day. And, you know, one thing that I take from you is that you know, we don't have to necessarily go 100 yards every day. Let's just go 10 yards or 5 yards or, you know, so. But no, man, I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and share your experiences with me and give these guys an insight kind of on what we do, how we do it, what it feels like sometimes. And I'm sure we'll dive further into that. But Brett Shaw, I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you guys so much. Guys, gals, this is our very first episode. Thank you so much. This is the Cruz Report. We will be doing episode 2 coming up with Aaron Miguel Herrera. You guys know him as the Mexican Meat Marauder. We'll see you later.